Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you how I constructed this beautiful wig from start to finish. But today we'll be doing the bleaching and the dyeing to a mahogany brown. So here we go. These are the props that you will need. Now before we start guys, I have to let you know that this process can get really messy. So just wear a top that you really don't care about or you don't mind getting dirty. So you'll need your cream developer, your bleaching powder, a bowl and a brush. You'll need your bottles of hair dye. Now I've got 3, so in my mind when I dye hair I think of 1 bundle, 1 bottle, but that's not necessarily true. You can use less, it depends on what you're doing, but I always want to ensure that the hair takes the dye properly, so I have more than enough bottles to dye the hair. You'll need your comb, and that's it. This hair I've got is from Rosabeauty. I actually ordered it for my client because I really like this company. I feel like their hair is really good quality and lasts long. It takes dye well and curls very well. So I'll definitely recommend Rosabeauty. I'd also say that if you want to order, please don't order it on AliExpress, because AliExpress now has changed their policies. They deliver through UPS, which could take from a week to 2 weeks to arrive. So when the hair finally arrived, I had to pay a £20 fee and I was gutted. Whereas if you order straight from the company, they deliver it with DHL and it comes within 2 days, sometimes 3, but it comes super quick. Within the same week that you've ordered, you'd receive the hair. So if you want quick delivery without having to pay anything, I would definitely recommend you buying it from the actual company, and I will leave the link down below. Okay, enough ranting now, let's get into the hair dyeing. So at this point, I'm adding my bleaching powder to the bowl. Now, I do not have a specific amount that I add. However, I do know what I'm aiming for, which is a smooth consistency. So now I'm adding a bit more developer to smoothen the consistency. Okay, so when you add the mix to your hair, create yourself a margin that you'll respect going all the way through. Now again, it depends of the look that you're going for, but here we're going for darker roots and dyed ends. Because I do not want a sharp demarcation between the roots and the dye, I'm going to tint the roots so it would appear as though the dye is literally fading into the hair.
It's delicious.
We are now combing through the hair to allow the product to go through every strand of hair. You flip it over and you do the same process all over again. I am now going to fold the bundle together and start combing through to avoid any tangling and also to ensure that the product is well dispatched through the hair. So now that you've seen how I do it, we're going to repeat the same process for the rest of the bundles. After shampooing and conditioning the hair, this is the colour we ended up with. So now let's begin the hair dyeing. I'm going to pour 2 bottles of the mahogany hair dye from the door into the bowl. Get rid of what you don't need and let's go.
It's delicious.
So now I'm going to apply the hair dye from the roots down to ensure that there isn't any blonde bits left out. So we're literally going through the same process that we did with the bleaching with the dyeing. Flip the hair over and do the same process again. So now I'm massaging the hair dye through the hair to ensure that it's literally everywhere. You do not want to see any blonde bits left out. Repeat the exact same process for the rest of your bundles. Now for the closure, even though it's sort of inevitable for the dye to not get onto the lace, we are still going to try avoid it by putting a black bin bag underneath and dyeing the hair. Now don't worry if the dye gets onto the lace, because you can always put concealer where your parting will be. So now with the closure, I also massage the hair through the root, and that's because I really do not want any blonde in there. The closure is really important, so it's crucial that you get this right. Do not leave any blonde out, because it will just mess up the colouring. I also ensure that I dye the bottom of the closure really well. That's so that when we actually make the wig, the root of the weft, which is a darker colour, blends really well with the closure. So that it's basically just to give it a really nice finish. So here we are, guys, we're done with the dyeing. So what I do, I wrap it all up in a plastic bag. The closure is in a separate plastic bag, and that's because we want to prevent the dye touching the lace as much as possible. So this is it, guys. This is the end color we ended up with, a nice sort of brownish reddish kind of color. It's exactly what my client wanted, so I'm really happy with the color. Stay tuned to see how I construct the wig and style the wig.